Well, hello, good morning. It's 10 to 2 in the morning on Thursday, the 27th of July, and I'm going to be setting off to do a 300-kilometre Audax in about an hour or so's time. And the reason I'm setting off so early is because there's rain forecast for later in the day, and I just thought I'd try something a little bit different and start off really early and try and avoid the worst of the rain that's coming in about 4 o'clock. So I've been busy all week, and then we've got a dog to look after over the weekend. So today really is the only day I've got available to do a ride, and I'm doing another copy and paste ride. It's a 200-kilometre Audax that I've taken from a calendar event called Borders and Castles, which starts and finishes in Chepstow, and I've just bolted on a to and from Bath element to it, making it into a 300-kilometre DIY. So here's an overview of the route today. It starts and finishes in Bath. There's my little dog leg up to Chepstow, and then there's where the main body of the route starts. The actual shape is a bit like an inverted knife, I guess, with the sharp point at Chepstow. So it goes northwards up here, passes through Ross-on-Wye, actually skirts round Hereford, Leinster, then does a midway stop there at Country Park, and then it comes back down. As the name suggests, it's paralleling the border between Wales and England, where there's lots of castles, and it pops back into Chepstow, back over the Severn Bridge to Bath. So here's today's weather forecast, and it's been dynamic all week, just been changing almost by the hour, but the one thing that hasn't really changed is an indication there's going to be some pretty heavy rain and consistent rain coming in later in the day. Sometimes it's been over in this part of the day, other times just back to this late afternoon, early evening, which is really sort of why I've decided to start off so early in the morning. I don't mind finishing in the rain, but I didn't really want to do about a third of the ride in the rain, so I'm hoping to sort of finish sort of somewhere around about this time rather than somewhere around about that sort of time. Well, it's coming up to 3 AM and I'm just setting off from Bath. A couple of observations I've just made in the first mile. Just seen two taxis which look like they're full of young people coming home from nightclubs, so a bit of an irony there. Young people just coming home from a night out, and there's me just setting off on a 189-mile bike ride. One of the things I like about DIYs is the flexibility it gives you. I mean, I can't control nature, I can't control the weather, but what it does allow me to do is just adjust my ride slightly. I mean, my preferred start time is 5 AM, I've just ditched that today, making it 3 AM. Unlike a calendar event where you're confined to a certain day and a certain time, DIY just gives me that flexibility, gives me more options. So I'm going to be setting off now. Probably going to be more photographs and filming today. Southwesterly wind, so I should get the benefit of that heading up to the halfway point. It's probably going to be a bit of a slog on the way back, but I'll have the added incentive on trying to get home to beat the rain that's imminent. So it's now 8 AM and I'm on the outskirts of Ross-on-Wye, so I made it up to Severn Bridge. I just had to shelter very briefly under a garage canopy from some rain near Frampton Cotterell, and that passed quite quickly. Went through Chepstow, climbed up past St Brivel's Castle, so I passed through Ross-on-Wye. I checked out one of my favourite cafes in there, really nice, cheap and cheerful place. It was a bit too early for it, I suspected I would be. So got a really good tip off a mate a few years ago. Researched 24-hour garages, just spent about 10 minutes yesterday finding out where they were. As I was crossing the A40, there's about 3 dotted along here, so just got myself a real bargain breakfast for under a fiver. bacon and sausage bat, big mug of coffee. So 10 minutes here, charge my Garmin up, this will be my breakfast and I'll be on my way. Well, it's about 11:45 now and I'm round about the halfway point, just as I'm at the very northern end of the circuit doing the turn. I'm in the grounds of Croft Castle actually. It's now 1:45 and I'm just leaving Shopperton Airfield. I detoured off route about 1/4 of a mile, just had myself some beans on toast and a mug of coffee. So it's now 4 PM. I'm in the village of Grossmont, Black Mountains, so I've got quite a big climb coming out of here, I remember, over towards Ragland. And so I'm just having a sandwich and a drink in here. I sort of gather my strength a little bit. So I'm well over 200 kilometres, less than 100 kilometres to go. It is 4 o'clock, so I've taken like 13 hours to do just over 200 kilometres, but I've been stopping quite a lot, taking pictures and films. Actually in no hurry whatsoever. If the rain is coming, it's going to be the next couple of hours, so it'd be nice to get over the Black Mountains, get down on a little bit of lower ground down towards Raglan. Then there's one pretty nasty sharp climb after that, Star Hill up to Devorden, and then it's dropped down into Chepstow, back over the bridge and back down to Bath. Well, it's nice Saturday morning, so a bit of a retrospective finish to this film. After Grossmont I did the big climb up towards the Black Mountains. There was really quite thick mist covering the summits of the hills there. And just after I approached the summit, it came on to rain, and I pretty much had rain then all the way back to Chepstow. Had to cape up, and funny enough, although it was quite heavy at times, I actually really enjoyed it. And I just did a slight detour off to White Castle. It's actually an information control on the Audax calendar event, and it's actually part of my route. And after that I did no more pictures because I was just so sodden and wet. And as I dropped into Chepstow, I stopped at Bulwark, which is like a little suburb as you head towards the Severn Bridge. And I don't know why, when I get cold and wet on the bike, I just always fancy batter sausages, with just no idea why. But I just tend to go with cravings, food, drink, sex, anything like that. So I stopped there and had sausages and a fizzy drink, then headed back over the bridge to Bath. It actually stopped raining then, and as I came into Bath, I just felt the first spots of rain then. And just to make the route up to a full 300 kilometres, I needed to just do a final dog leg out through the 2 tunnels route. And as I came back, the rain was coming on quite heavy, so I was quite fortunate I sort of missed that. Yeah, so summing up, one of the many things I like about DIYs is the informality of them. You don't have the peer pressure as well of a calendar event, so you can try things out, and sometimes they work, other times they don't work. So I will have learnt things from yesterday. What I did sort of realise at the end was I started off 2 hours early to try and sort of like finish 2 hours early to beat the worst of the rain. All that happened was I finished 2 hours later really. I just used the 2 hours up, I finished at my normal time. So probably one of the slowest 300s I've ever done. Did enjoy it. It was quite brutal. Felt, I finished feeling quite battered. Maybe that was a battered sausages, I don't know. So with that in mind, I'll sort of say thanks for watching as usual, and till next time.